Hi, I'm Kevin Harrington,
I'm Samba Bachili.
Nina Vaca, Chief Executive Officer of Pinnacle Group.
an original shark from the hit TV show Shark Tank.
CEO of ADS Group.
The largest Latina-owned workforce solutions in America.
I first identified myself as an entrepreneur when I was 15 years old.
My mother and father immigrated here with a suitcase and a dream. I had a front row seat to entrepreneurship. I am living proof of what is possible in this country.
Today, the marketplace is very tough.
The challenge for African market today is its access to capital.
The number one reason why we can't scale as entrepreneurs is access to capital.
What makes Glow so different and so powerful is the access to experts, gurus, mentors, coaches, financiers, venture people, money.
When I started my business, I immediately went to engage with different communities, different platforms. Glow makes that experience digital. A digital platform makes it so much faster and so much easier for you to meet like-minded people.
The financial platform that Glow have that make Glow unique.
Glow is about commerce, Glow is about community, and Glow is about having access to capital.
Glow is an asset to every entrepreneur in this country and globally.
It's about helping you take your business, your idea to the next step.
Hello and welcome to Business Acceleration 2.0. It's a show where leaders go to grow. My name is Michelle Lemons-Pacenti, and I am the founder and CEO of the Global Leaders Organization, or GLOW as we call it. We've got some really special guests with us today, but before we go there, I want to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. Business Finishing School, or BFS as we call it, is a sponsor of this program, the Business Acceleration 2.0. So Business Finishing School is a program that if you were interested in selling your business, whether it be today or in the next 5 years, you were thinking of, had those thoughts of selling your business, BFS is a program to take you step by step to going through the process so that you can actually be prepared and ready to sell your business. So it helps your company provide a foundation to become more profitable, more sustainable, and more sellable. It's got over 100 different videos, 48 modules, and it's a step-by-step program that you can work your business as you're going through the program. So please go out and check out businessfinishingschool.com and let them know Glow sent you. And our other sponsor today is the Global Leaders Organization. So Glow is the fastest growing entrepreneurial organization today. It's out there helping to support the entrepreneur, helping with the 4 foundational principles, which is community, because as an entrepreneur, face it, it's lonely at the top. We're also based on commerce, because as an entrepreneur, you're wanting to build and grow your company. Why not do it within your community with the people that you're meeting? And capital. At some point, as you're growing and expanding your business, you could be in need of capital, whether it be debt or equity. Glow is here to assist in helping you find that right capital. And then finally, content, which is what we're doing today, providing excellent content for you as an entrepreneur so that you can continue to build and grow your business. Now, I know you're here today to hear from our speakers, and we've got some really exciting ones. So first, let me go ahead and welcome Mrs. Psyche and Ventoba Terry. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thank you.
Hi there. So you guys have a fascinating story. Husband and wife duo team Terry. Tell us a little bit of your background. Let's get to your company that you have today, but give us a backdrop.
Sure. So the company name is UI Global Brands, and we actually have a brand, a wonderful brand called Urban Hydration, one of the fastest growing personal care brands in the country and the best care for dry skin and dry hair, if you ask us. We focus on hydration and moisture, but it's more than just the name with Urban Hydration, as Psyche will attest. We're also about hydrating communities in need. For every product we sell, we donate 1 gallon of water, and we've built clean drinking water wells in Kenya, Africa, over the last few years.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's, amazing. And I didn't mean to interrupt. Were you going to say something, Psyche?
No, we've been married for almost 18 years. We've got 3 beautiful children, and we really enjoy the work that we get to do, just personally as husband and wife, working hard together for the past, I think we've been working together for 6 years.
Full time.
Been in business since 2009 and just continuing to trug along and make a difference. That's been our biggest story is with Urban Hydration. We truly believe that we have the opportunity to help people be able to afford good care and not clinical care, not to have to work or use the clinical ingredients that can hurt you, can harm you, but to use plant-based ingredients. We like to call it better for you ingredients in our personal care products. And that's skincare, hair care, bath and body products.
Now, you guys are in thousands of stores, in every major store that we can think of across the country. And you were ahead of your time, right? When you guys created your the skincare, because you were on to organic natural products before it was the thing, right?
Yes, I had the luck of the draw to be able to be married to this hunk of a guy, and I wanted to lose weight and just have a healthy lifestyle right alongside him. And I remember working so hard to just get my body in a form and fashion that made me feel good. And we even had a doctor share that, hey, the weight that I had attributed over I guess like the freshman whatevers and the newlywed whatevers, I had gained so much that it was difficult for us to have children. So we had that hand in hand with dry skin, dry hair, wanting to find a care for myself that was not clinical. And we thought with the change in ingredients that I was using for eating, if we could do the same exact profound behavior in skincare and find care for myself and for my eczema prone skin, that would help me just have a better life overall. So, fast forward some 10 years later, great care for my skin. And now millions of people across the country get to have that same care.
It's fascinating. So out of your own need, your own necessity, you created this company that's now throughout every store. How many stores are you guys in now?
Well, we like to focus on our Walgreens business. It's so good for us. We love that our customers are going in usually just for a quick trip, but they walk out with a face wash and a face lotion or face moisturizer. Definitely. Or if they're in Ulta because they're all about the beauty, then they're walking in for makeup, but they're walking out with a micellar water that's cleansing their makeup, or they're walking out with a body wash that helps them feel good about their we like to not say backney. So we're excited that we get to send customers, whether they're in convenience or whether they're in a beauty space, we get to conquer those doors and really help them have that better for you care at affordable prices.
That's fantastic. Okay, so did you guys always know that you were going to be entrepreneurs? I mean, some entrepreneurs started the lemonade stand when they were 12 years old. Did you guys do something like that? Was it in your blood?
Well, I was raised in an entrepreneurial home. My father, he was a general contractor. He used to own a toy store. He was like the only guy in our city that we knew owned a toy store that sold Nintendo games. So we looked up to him in that regard. He's very enterprising. And I hadn't thought that I would be an entrepreneur myself until we met, and she had all these great ideas.
I mean, you were in banking. You banked like Helen of Troy and Sally Beauty. Who walks away from that? But I think
you had a great corporate career at a Fortune 200. Yeah. She was at Whirlpool Corporation, and she had all these wonderful ideas. And she talks about dry skin, dry hair, but she was always beautiful. She just wanted to make it more beautiful.
What a nice husband. Oh my God. You can see y'all are still in love after working together. Let's talk about that, because that's not always the case, right? How is it working together as a team?
Stay in your lane. We learned that from a couple. I think it was our first month together, and Vaughn was over on the sales side, and I'm like, get out of here. You got to lose all my accounts. And then I was also trying to be on the finance side, and you're like, get out of here. You're going to bankrupt.
That first 3 months was rough. That first 3 months, woo. But once we got through that, when we defined our lanes and where we had absolute authority and partial authority and where we collaborate, I mean, it's been pretty smooth since.
Yeah, I think what I've learned is that don't take this the wrong way, dear, but I've learned that Von Toba's really smart, and he's he's a great talent, if you will, and he was a great talent in corporate America. I mean, Comerica Bank loved him. He was a vice president there, and treasurers and CFOs adore him. And I think once I saw him in that light, not just my husband coming in to take over the numbers. Once I realized that he was such a great talent and how expensive he would be to our new up and coming business to have that talent at that level of quality, then I was able to appreciate who he was and kind of stay in my lane. And I would hope the same for you,
Oh yeah,
right?
oh yeah, the same. Yeah, I knew like she had one of the biggest territories in the country with Whirlpool Corporation before she left that full time and was starting a family and running this business at the same time, pitching to retailers. She was sales, logistics, admin, operations, all of it while I was at the bank. And I was just so proud of what she had started to build that I was like, I need to come on board. But it was already 6 years into it.
Yeah.
And now for the last 6 years we've been together, and I'm so happy with the idea that she brought to the
Well,
world.
the idea was if we were together, we could scale.
Yeah.
And I felt like, if we could at the time, if we could hit $1 million hump, then we could be something. And I had that thought of, but I needed his help to do it. And he came alongside, and here we are.
So, okay, so my husband and I are both, we've worked together kind of on and off, but we never picked our lane. So that's really interesting. So pick your lane, have respect for one another, that's your lane and you know best, and you have the authority. That's what I'm hearing from you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Good words of advice there. Good words of advice. So, okay, so every entrepreneur, you guys are very successful today, but it hasn't always been that way, right? There's been lots of ups and downs. I know at one point, Psyche, you even talk about waving the white flag, like you're done, right? And ready to walk away from it all. Can we talk about what pulled you through and what helped you get to the other side, and how you even had the determination to even get to the other side when you were ready to throw it all in?
Well, I think that, working in corporate America for over 12 years, we've got over 25 years now in business, but having, 12 dedicated years working with some of the largest retailers in the country was, it was easy to do in corporate, but it was not so easy to gain that same type of relationship in entrepreneurial America. And then to turn around and also have to create similar relationships with factories and with packagers and with logistics teams to ship and deliver our products. Those relationships were tough, and we had to not necessarily vouch, but we had to find those relationships, and then we had to determine if they were telling the truth, if they would be the best partners or not. And we didn't always find the best partners. And it took several years, several bumps and lumps along the road to determine, this is going to be the best partner. And luckily, we've now worked with our factory for, I know, over 10 years. And it's been a great relationship, but getting there, right? And finding the right finance teams, finding the right accountants, finding the right employees. Those have been really, really trying times. And for me, I don't handle any of our HR now, because I'm still the same way in the beginning, which is I just love you right away, right to pieces. And that can be difficult, when you have accounts that you're working with that just shouldn't be loved to pieces. You should just kind of let them go. And I didn't want to let them go, but it took a lot of hurt and a lot of trials and tribulations to determine who's going to be the best for our business, who's going to be the best customers for our business, who are the best retailers that work best with us. And just knowing when to pick and choose, your battles, as well as the retail customers that you work with, has been really, really special for us.
So when you're looking at whether it be a potential employee or a new manufacturing partner or a new vendor, are there any kind of step-by-step processes that you do, or are there certain questions that you always ask, and if they don't answer a certain way, then it's not the right fit?
Yeah, there's some questions we ask, like that, because we learned a lot over the years with different vendors coming and going. Some deliver on their promises, some don't.
Mhm.
And we always like to ask, what success stories do you have? Do you have any case studies? What's your customer retention rate? Do you have any references? Things like that. And we've had some vendors where they've actually allowed us to speak with other companies that have used their services, and that's always been helpful.
Mhm.
But one big thing for us, and I always like to mention this, is that now we ask for a 3-month term and then month to month after that, because we understand it takes time to get under an understanding of a company. But after that, you should be able to prove yourself every month that that contract is worth renewing. And with the retailers that we work with that cut orders weekly, I mean, we have to deliver or they cut us. So we don't sign long-term contracts anymore where we can avoid it.
Wow. So month to month, that's great advice. Now,
Yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, for us, it really is a matter of sharing the relationships that we've built, right? We are in the largest retailers in the country, and we're a small business, and we love partnering with other small businesses. And we love the fact that our customers are giving us 5-star reviews on websites and, with the retail partners that we're working with. So it's important to us that we partner with people that have honor and respect for the end game, which is making sure our customer continues to be satisfied and continues to be happy. And when we recognize, or if there's any way where we see that that's not the primary end goal for that partner of ours, then that's when we determine right away that it's time to cut cords, because at the end of the day, our customers are giving us 5-star reviews because we're working with the best, and we know that we can't do it on our own, that we need best partners to help us contribute to that commitment.
Definitely.
So we went, Glow goes through quite a bit of conversation around making clear your values. It sounds like honor and respect are two values of yours. You've gotten very clear that if your partners do not have the same values, then that's not acceptable to you. Correct?
That's right. We call it Terry Honor, and we call it UI Global Brands, the Urban Hydration Honor.
Oh, great. Do you have that up as a banner anywhere in the
In our
office?
hearts. We say it every day, all day. We're just like, oh, that's not Terry Honor, or oh, that's not honor. So I think that is definitely a word that sings through our product. We want to honor our customer with price point. We want to honor them with incredible ingredients,
Right.
and we want to honor them with just being sure that we deliver everything that we promise that we'll be doing.
Okay, so with that in mind, and the business is where it is today, and you're in all these different locations, you didn't start off selling what you're selling today, right?
No.
I mean, there was a real evolution, and I think that's a great story for other entrepreneurs to hear, because you might start off thinking that you're going to be selling this type of widget, and in the end, it turns out to be something completely different, and that's okay.
Yeah, that was totally the case. With us, we started off selling small bottles of massage oil, body wash, and body lotion with hang tag labels and small labels that we designed on our own on our computers. And before we knew it, within a couple years, we had become primarily a sugar scrub company. So that was part of the evolution with Urban Hydration. And we had 16 different flavors of sugar scrubs at one point. But I'm sure what you're getting at is the apparel business that we had.
Yes.
Remember that Psyche Terry with the lingerie?
Uh-huh.
So we had Urban Hydration, and side by side we were running Urban Intimates, and that was the intimate apparel collection we had that was in Walmart, Macy's, and J.C. Penney several years ago. That was interesting and fun, and
So many learnings.
yes, we learned so much.
So many learnings. We had great relationships, great business relationships,
Mhm.
but it went right into that hand in hand. We wanted to provide quality for consumers at best price, or at affordable prices with best ingredients. And for us, it was the best material.
Yeah.
And we wanted to partner that with the best skincare and bath and body care. And our skincare and bath and body, for me, had just really transitioned my life. It had really changed the way I looked at myself, the way I felt about myself. And I personally just felt committed to wanting to share that story with the rest of the world, which is why we decided we would go all in And I mean, all in. We went all of our investments, all of our savings. We went in. We felt so comfortable that, hey, people deserve to have better for you care at affordable prices. They deserve to have that accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say you went all the way in, did you end up maxing out your credit cards and
Everything.
taking on
All
debt?
All of that.
Yeah, we maxed out the credit cards. Her 401k, cashed that in from the corporate career, and we literally every bonus I got at the bank went towards building the business, and it was worth it because now we're self sufficient, and just so proud of what Psyche did, in that time frame when she was pitching these businesses, running two brands at the same time while we did that, and getting traction with Fortune 500 retailers.
Yeah, I would say if you're an entrepreneur and you've got a cousin or Aunt Sue or Sally that can donate or that can contribute to your idea, go for a run with it and make sure you pay them back. And for us, we just didn't have that access. Our family said, "What can I buy? How can I support? Can I read a label? Can I
write a review?
Can I write a review?" And that's just our family and what our family was able to bring to the table. And what they were able to bring to the table has been phenomenally helpful as well. But what that also meant was all of those years stretched out in corporate America, all that savings, all the downsizing we had to do with our cars and the things that our kids had to live without for several years. That means that we had to fork up the cash side of the business and change our lifestyle a bit so that we could see our dream come true.
Yeah, but that's you believing 100% in your dream, which is fantastic, and just putting everything you had into it. There was no looking back. How do you guys continue to grow as individuals, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as business individuals? Where do y'all go? How do you continue to grow? I know you both have extensive backgrounds with your educational, with college and degrees, but what do you continue to do now?
Great question. Great question. We're firm believers in continuing education and personal development. So we do read books. We read your, standard, the 8 habits and the different things like that. And we also listen to a lot of podcasts, which is very popular, with our generation, podcasts, vlogs, just understanding how people think, how the mind works, keeping ourselves motivated and encouraged, just resourcing ourselves with what's going on in the industry. We review, several industry publications. And then one thing I can tell you that we share, her probably more than me, is fitness. Psyche's a licensed Zumba instructor and teaches Zumba, participates in Zumba weekly. And that's part of how we take care of ourselves and our mental is through fitness, a little bit of working out. So
yeah, for me, it's very interesting that I always thought after our master's degrees that we would not do classroom education ever again. And I am definitely still I'm a believer that was enough. But the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business was a program that Von Tobel thought, go ahead, give it a shot. And I thought, well, we got little kids. I don't know if I can handle that. And, that is extended education and running the business and being a new mom, but I did it. And I think those types of programs, which we get the opportunity to continue to be a part of, they're almost on I'd say every other year basis, there's some type of learning program that's a couple days or 3 days where we get to come. In this particular case, it was about 3 months, but so many learnings and just having the opportunity to sit with and under professionals in their arena was very helpful. I also sit on the board for food marketing with Western Michigan University, which keeps me around several other people. I think things like this, podcasts and listening to your podcast, being a part of podcasts and sitting on other panels also keeps us fresh, and it keeps us meeting new people as well.
So do you have mentors, or do you have a board of directors with the business that you can go to as well?
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, with so many years, right? So many years in corporate, you do not get to walk away, or you should not walk away. If you're, thinking of like taking, what do they say? Like the balloon or the parachute. like just taking
Yeah.
off, leaving. Yeah. If you plan on leaving, don't leave without a list of contacts of people that you can always call. And those people that I call from Whirlpool have really helped us in so many ways.
Definitely.
I go back and I go, wow, at any point I get to message the CEO of Ulta and say, hey, how about, whatever, or someone that was like director of sales or director of North America for Whirlpool and say, what do you think about this? And what I believe is so neat is these amazing people, whether they're, in charge of beauty at CVS or they're in charge of, Vitamin Shop, just fantastic people that they too believe in entrepreneurship, and they've been some of the greatest supporters and problem solvers for us and I feel like in the whole world. So we've got an amazing group of advisors that have been right alongside us, helping us push the wheel.
Sorry, I had my microphone somehow got muted. So with the board of or with advisors, are they I'm curious because a lot of our members go out and raise capital, and before they go and raise capital, they put their board of directors together. Is yours a professional board of advisors, or are these just individuals that you go to? Is it formal, or is it not?
We have both.
Or is it both?
We have both. Yeah, we've got members of our business that are members of the business and therefore have a say. And then we have business advisors that also have a say.
Okay, good. That's great. I know a lot of entrepreneurs will put together their board of directors or board of advisors, but they do it only from the image standpoint, and they do not do it where they actually go to the board of advisors or board of directors and really ask them questions. So it sounds like you guys really take advantage of their expertise and go to them and with real questions to help you with your business.
We do. It's important. I mean,
Yeah.
people know when they're being valued as part of something. And some people may want to say they're on the board just to say they're on the board, but the people that we're in contact with, they really want to be helpful.
Yeah.
And it's not even about getting paid or anything like that. They just want to see us win.
Yeah. And what's so neat for me is, we get to say still, even with these current IRI numbers, which is how we look at our data, we look at just retail numbers of, if our products are selling. And to be one of the fastest growing personal care brands is not by our own will or our own might. We get to share that enthusiasm and that excitement with people that are helping us make those best decisions. And sometimes they're really tough. And I prefer to make that decision alongside someone that gets it and understands it versus, drudging the issues or bearing the issues all on my own and maybe not even having the best answer. But having these great people as advisors and directors within our realm have really helped us be fastest growing brand in the business.
I love it. Okay, let's talk about raising capital. So you guys have raised capital in your business, correct?
Uh-huh.
How was that experience? Because, I talk about this a lot on our show, but it's very difficult for women, especially minorities, especially to raise capital. How was it going out through the process of raising capital? And were there any lessons you learned that you could share with other entrepreneurs trying to raise capital?
We've had some stories on raising capital. I remember, it's not Shark Tank. What was it called? Fish Tank?
Sink or Swim.
Yeah.
With 2 M's.
You remember that?
Yeah. We've auditioned for Shark Tank, but I went up to Chicago to audition for a show called Sink or Swim with 2 M's. And they were trying to be like the next Shark Tank. And we actually won the episode. We were up against like 12 other companies and we pitched. And they gave me this big check.
You ever get the money?
We still haven't gotten the
Never
money.
gotten the money.
That was like 7 years ago. So they gave me the big check. They got their pictures and stuff. And oh my goodness. But we do have a investor in the company. And that process went a lot differently than what you might think.
Right? Than Sink or Swim. Yeah.
Psyche met someone at a church event who was someone who had attended our church. And she found out about the business and said, hey, let me tell my husband about this as well. And so we all met up together and started talking more. And said, let's meet at your office. And before we knew it, they were like, we want to be a part of this. And we explained what we were doing, how much we might need, what the sources and uses would be. and we got a local attorney involved to draft up some paperwork on what an equity investment would look like. And the rest is history. We've been in business together for 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great story. Actually, that's a story that just dropped right out of heaven. That one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally, it
Yes.
dropped out of
It was a
heaven.
divine
Yeah.
appointment.
Yeah.
That's the smoothest and the one that everyone dreams of someone just knocking on the door saying, I want to invest in you. But obviously that's because you guys were already doing so great. So, and you can obviously tell you have the character as well to stand behind your product, which is wonderful. Um, were there any lessons that you learned from it, or are you going to go out and start looking for more capital?
We're at a stage where the business opportunity is just beyond huge. And we're really proud of the partners that we have, and that we're, some of the top growing brands, even with the retail partners that we're working with. So yes, we think that there's even more growth to be had and even more opportunity to be had. So absolutely expect a call. We'll be looking for you so we can all get a big opportunity again to help build wells in Kenya. We get to, every time we sell, we get to create more opportunities for people that need access to clean drinking water, and also help more men and women across the country have access to care that is not clinical, but is better for you. So I'd say that for us, they've become great friends, and by no means did we expect it. But I will say that Goldman Sachs program, with me being able to sit beside Von Tobel, because Von Tobel is our CFO. He does handle our all of our operations and our finances. But I was able to sit, you talk about women being able or not being able to, especially minority women, to raise as much capital on a normal basis as their counterparts. And the fact that I had worked, hard, and I read so many books, and I had done so many lessons with this Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business, it prompted me to be just as knowledgeable of our numbers and what we needed and why we needed it. And where I didn't know, I asked questions, and we do a lot of that even today. We do a lot of yin and yang where Von Tobel has the answer, but I have the question, and we work really hard to not just have an answer and a question, but to find a solution together with that behavior. I think our investors appreciated that. They appreciated that we had a solid role here and we had a solid role here. And then we wanted to work together to come up with really good solutions to grow our business.
Yeah.
Grow seems like it's definitely in your vocabulary constantly. In fact, it's one of your mantras, give and grow, right? Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so Give and Grow, that's also the name of part of the name of the podcast I started as a project last year, just to talk about movies and business. But to give and to grow has to be in the fabric of everything that I do, from work to the kids to building out what we do and how we love as a couple. I want to give and I want to grow. I want to grow in love. I want to give in love. And it's like a give and take, like giving and growing, where you're giving, but at the same time you're elevating. So that's just something I try to remind myself of, that and even in having fun. I like coaching flag football, but even in that I'm giving something. I'm also growing these kids' abilities when it comes to throwing and catching and things like that. Now it's up to them to do it on the field, but that's my mantra: give and grow.
It's beautiful, and I love you saying love, and it's just so beautiful. You guys are very, very fortunate to have found one another, not only for your marriage but also in business. So congratulations. I want to talk a minute about Psyche, what you're doing with Mrs. Texas and Mrs. America. So tell us about that, because I haven't seen the pageantry world in a while, and it sounds like it's coming back, and you're a part of that.
It is coming back. I'm a huge component of just inner beauty and outer beauty, but more than anything, just telling that story that, hey, I was a girl that was, at one point a H-cup bra and a size 22, and that was okay for me. It was okay because I was comfortable and confident in myself. And I took that and made a business from it, which is why we had our apparel business for so long. Now, what became, even more of a story and an issue is not being able to have children possibly, and just wanting to work hard and seeing yet another goal. Now I've taken a business out of my situation and created something great for other women that share that same story. But then saying, hey, here's another goal that I want to go after is having kids, and learning that a clean lifestyle, clean eating, as well as clean skincare could help with that. So now I get to take that story as Mrs. Texas across the country and let women know that, make a story out of your story. Don't just take the story and not take glory with it, but in every situation, whether it was, my beautiful body, and I took that story and shared, the joy of that with other women, or with this new thing that I had learned about Zumba and working out, and taking that story across the country and sharing that we absolutely get to be moms. We get to work hard, whether we're in entrepreneurship or we're in corporate America, but then we also want to be sure that we're taking care of ourselves.
It's beautiful. And then Von Tobel, you've also written a book, right? You guys don't ever
Yes.
I feel like we don't.
I wrote a novel called Operation See the Gift. It's on Amazon, and it's an inspirational Christian novel that we sort of described as the Christian X-Men in a sense. But it really talks about people having spiritual gifts and fighting against this sinister group that wants to bring about the end of the world. And it was a lot of fun writing it. I'm actually working on the sequel called The Omega Project. And I started writing it before the COVID-19 pandemic, but the book is centered around a virus that enters the world, and the Christian group in the book that's a sequel to Operation See the Gift. They're actually going against that organization to, while the hurricane is going on, figure out how to essentially save the world from this. So,
wow.
I enjoy writing. You can tell I'm
Yeah.
passionate about it.
Novelist, CFO, operations, entrepreneurs, Mrs. Texas, soon to be Mrs. America. I'm voting for you.
I hope so.
You guys are amazing. I always end this with a question on, if you could go back and tell the younger self something, the message in regards to your business, what would that message be? What would you tell them?
I tell my younger self to get some rest, because you got a lot of work to do for the rest of the world.
I tell my younger self, hey, stay focused. Can't do everything. Pick something and go hard at it.
I love it. Well, I want to say thank you guys so much for being here today on the show. It was fantastic. I knew it would be. We hope that we're going to get to see you on and on again with Inside Glow and at some of our events, maybe. And who knows, as Mrs. Texas, not just Mrs. Texas, but Mrs. America too. So, and a best-selling novelist, right? So there we go.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
And one last thing. So if people want to go out and buy the products, where do they go? Where should they go? Any major department store?
Yeah, any major mass retail, grocery, or pharmacy. Head over to Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Ulta, Target.
Yeah,
Urban
love
Hydration is the brand. Urban Hydration. Look for our packaging, transparent packaging with the Urban Hydration logo on it. So.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, well, thank you guys so much, and congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And for all those that are still tuning in, let's make sure that you tune in next week for our speaker, Dr. Burris, who's going to be sharing all of his tricks of his trade of attraction. How do you get more of what you want in your life? He's the attraction coach and works at reprogramming your brain, believe it or not. So thank you again for tuning in to Business Acceleration 2.0. I'm Michelle Lemons-Pacenti. Thank you. Stay safe and God bless.